Hi, this is Nick Monaco with JumpArt Media, and for this month's feature for Taking the Jump, we're with Blittner of TKS Miami.
TKS Miami was started in 2004 by myself and Juan Pavan, my partner. Original shop is on Key Biscayne near Crandon Park in Key Biscayne. That's the primary spot for kite surfing, and that's how we initially started the model of the shop, was kite surfing. We've evolved now into other sports, including paddleboarding. Me and Juan became friends back in about 2001. We were actually kite surfing for a few years together, learned kite surfing together. There wasn't a lot of places to kind of get equipment at that point. We learned together. It was a lot different back then. The learning curves just, shrunk considerably. The safety has gone up tremendously now. The kites have just gotten so much better. So that's how we initially started. And then once in about 2006, 2007, paddleboarding started to arise in like Hawaii and make an appearance. That's where we kind of started bringing it to Miami at that point.
Now tell me a little bit about your logo and kind of the branding idea behind TKS Miami.
Sure.
I know people have been tattooed to the logo. You've seen it in Venezuela. So there's some interesting stuff going on. So
there's been a couple tattoos actually that we've come across. The logo it's actually me holding the kite upside down, and so that image is how you would carry a kite for kite surfing while you're not flying the kite. It's been kind of one core thing from the beginning, that there's been consistency throughout. People have just loved the logo, and so that's evolved into just starting, from one t-shirt at the shop to doing 15 different t-shirts and doing our sun shirts and doing our board shorts and just hats and all different merchandise.
Right.
And like you said, we've come across a couple people, one actually in Los Roques in Venezuela, who had it tattooed on his back, so I'm glad
really
to
cool,
see people really love it.
And I noticed you've had some celebrities, participate in the TKS. You had Kim Kardashian. You've had Victoria's Secret supermodels.
Alessandra, Ambrosio,
right?
Ty Pennington. So basically, I mean, paddleboarding in general, it's just kind of blown up all over the United States. I mean, internationally as well, but you open any magazine, newspaper, you hear something about paddleboarding or surf related, and so all the celebrities are obviously getting into it.
And when you guys started off, with the business, what's the marketing you guys did to kind of get the name out there and kind of start building the community, the following that you guys have now?
What was the most important thing for us, and continues to be the most important thing for us, is just being out on the beach, in the water, and participating in those sports and spreading, the word on those sports, proper instruction, and just helping people out in the small communities, whether it's Crandon Beach and Key Biscayne, whether it's Miami Beach. But that's crucial, and that's one big thing about our business is everyone who works at TKS Miami actually participates in all those activities.
I know you guys do a lot of non-for-profit.
Exactly, we do some events. So Paddle for People is our biggest paddleboard event. We get over 200 people every year, and so we pick a different charity, and that brings 200 people who not every one of them has paddled before.
So someone else starting off in the business right now, or not your business in particular, but just in any business, what kind of advice can you give somebody else?
I got into this business because it's a passion. Regardless of that, there's always going to be things you have to do that aren't part of that passion, whether it's accounting, whether it's things like that. But you need to be hands-on. I'm one of two owners, and you just really need to be hands-on and involved in every aspect of the business. It's important to delegate and have well-trained employees. That's key. I mean, that's number one for us, is just really have well-trained employees who think like you think in terms of your business.
Right.
And obviously, as we discussed, the Facebook part of it is a huge help in growing an image of a business.
Now you can kind of give us a synopsis of the different boards and what should be used. And you're also going to be taking me out today. I mean, I never paddleboard before, so hopefully I don't make a fool out of myself. And
we'll keep you dry. You might get in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I control the editing, so I'll make sure I look good. Cool. All right, cool. So let's take a look at some boards and we'll go out. All right.
Sounds good. All right, so we're going to get out on the water now. But before we do that, let me just give you a few brief techniques. All right, first of all, the first thing we want to do is size up the paddle for you. So go ahead and grab the top of the paddle. And you basically want your arm almost fully extended, not quite.
So I got raised up a little bit?
Yeah, there it is, exactly. So your elbow has a little bend in it. The other thing you want to take notice is that where the sticker is, that's the front of your paddle.
Okay.
You never paddle like this. The paddle always faces forward, okay? On the board, you're basically going to be straddling the handle of the board. So each foot is going to be square, shoulder width apart, square to that, facing forward, not surfboard stance. You're going to alternate sides. So you're going to paddle, you're going to hold your paddle so your arms are bent at a 90-degree angle when you hold it up.
Okay.
And again with that, facing forward. And you're going to paddle on the left side by leaning on the paddle, and then you're just simply going to switch hands and do the exact same thing on the other side. You always want your hand up top, right or left, doesn't matter. You don't want to be holding the
always on top of the
yeah, always paddle here. And that's basically it. We're going to go in the water over here. We're just going to make our way around, and we'll just have a good time out there.
Okay,
all right,
sounds good. Let's do it.
Super easy.